So if you are a passenger of Uber and you're wondering, why is my driver always cancelling? It's illegal. It's an illegal contract offer. I don't know why legislators, I don't know why lobbyists, I don't know why the union is not all over this right now. Imagine if you go to a restaurant, you sit down, the wait staff come over, they give you the menu, you look through the menu and there's no prices on anything at all. You sit there for a bit and you contemplate it and you go, well, I want this, this and that. So you call the wait staff over again and you say, hey guys, I want this, but how much does it cost? And they say, well, we can't tell you until you place the order and lock it in. That would be frustrating, wouldn't it? You just want to know how much it costs for your food. Well, Uber drivers are going through a similar thing except with their income in Australia, and there's some unfair things going on, and I think Uber drivers in Australia, and I'm not talking about Uber Eats drivers, not the guys delivering the food, the guys doing the ride share, picking up the passengers, they're getting a very unfair deal that borders, I dare say, on illegal. So I just want to read this out, and this is contract law, what makes a fair and valid contract in Australia. Goods and services are exchanged through the medium of a contract. According to the fundamental principles of contract law, a contract is formed at the point where an ascertainable offer made by a capable party is accepted by another capable party. And guys, that is the founding principles of contract law in Australia. Now, for those who don't know, Uber drivers, maybe you jump in, you book an Uber, you want to get from point A to B, they're independent contractors. They're not employees of Uber. Now, Uber doesn't really care about the law so much in Australia. In fact, starting up in Australia, they came across like pirates, plundering and pillaging, breaking all the laws, destroying the taxi industry at the time, which led to recently the 5th largest legal settlement in Australia for $271 million, which was Uber paying off. They lost the court case, paying off reconciliation to the taxi industry. They admitted they broke all the laws, they did everything wrong, and they've just paid $271 million, which is a get out of jail free card if you look at it that way, which means, cool, we broke everything, we got ourselves set up. It's a $271 million fine to operate however the hell they want in the country right now. And right now, they are operating however the hell they want. They are not following contracting rules for drivers. So let me just run through something with you. So say a fare comes through for a passenger, for an Uber driver in Australia. Now, it doesn't tell them how much on that offer they're going to get paid for it. There's no indication at all. It doesn't tell them where they're going. It doesn't tell them how long the trip's going to be, unless it's more than 30 minutes, and it just says more than a 30-minute trip, a long trip plus 30 minutes. It doesn't tell exactly how long, it doesn't say where they're going. So they have no idea how good this fare is going to be, no idea where it's going, no idea how lucrative it's going to be, and no idea on the pay rate across. They can, however, see how far from where they currently are across to where the passenger is, and it gives them an estimate with the kilometers and the time to get there. But once they get across to that, that's unpaid time, guys. Once they get across to the customer, collect the customer, that's when they start to get paid for it from there, and they have no idea how long that fare is going to be. Now, an offer comes across to the Uber driver. They do not know how much they're going to get paid. They don't know how far it is, where it's going, any details like that. But the offer or the contract is to accept or decline at that point. Now, going back to the fundamentals, the foundations of contract law in Australia, there's a key word. So reading through, according to the fundamental principles of contract law, a contract is formed at the point where an ascertainable offer made by a capable party is accepted by another capable party. The key word is ascertainable. Now, if you don't know how much you're getting paid on the contract offer when it pops up, you don't know where it's going, how long it is that ascertainable? It is not ascertainable. So that is sham contracting. That is not correct contracting. That is an invalid contract. So how is Uber getting away with this? Well, one, they don't care about Australian law whatsoever. They're just happy to pay the fines as they come through. And two, they get out of it through a very grey shade. A very grey shade of legal technicality. And being Australian, we don't like this kind of stuff. We don't like it at all. It's not a fair go. It's not open. It's not transparent. But the technicality they're getting out of it is if you accept it and you do it and you know nothing about it, but you do the job, we end up paying you. So you do get reimbursed at the end. You do receive across an amount at the end of the job. even though you don't know what you're accepting at the start of the contract. So there's no transparency whatsoever. So that's the technicality. They're offering a contract with no details, a blank slate, but they'll pay you at the end. It's not the amount that you've agreed to because you don't know what it was. It's not the amount that you think is fair. Sure, you can send a review for it and be like, was this right? And they'll review it through from there. And, the company that's not even showing you what it's worth when they offer it to you, do you think you can get a fair go out of that? Fuck no. Fuck no. So, they don't care about Australian law. They are skirting the system to pay drivers as little as possible. I don't know why legislators, I don't know why lobbyists, I don't know why the union is not all over this right now. It's invalid contracts. It is not ascertainable at the point of offer. It's illegal. It's an illegal contract offer. Going back to the concept of being in a restaurant, would you still place that order at the restaurant? You run through all your items, you give it through, and then you only know how much you have to pay at that point once you've locked it in and it's been sent to the chef. Would you do that? No, you wouldn't. You'd be disgusted at the establishment. You'd be like, this is fucked. I'm never coming back here again. So if you are a passenger of Uber and you're wondering, why is my driver always cancelling? You see the driver's name pop up a sign and then a minute or two later disappears and you're back in the waiting queue again and you're wondering, why is this always happening? Why does it happen over and over and over again? Well, it's because the driver can't see any details about the fare on their contract offer until they accept it. They see all the details and they go, oh, this does not work for me at all. And then they unassign themselves from the fare. So this leads, of course, to longer customer waits because Uber's not being transparent. It leads to drivers getting frustrated. When a driver accepts a fare, suddenly they're dropped back down in the queue again, waiting for their next offer to come through that's more acceptable. So Uber's lack of transparency and also not ascertainable contract offers in the first place. That is what's causing all these issues, and it's not legal. You can't do that in Australia, but Uber doesn't care about Australian law. Hence, they paid a $271 million settlement in court, and they'll do it again and again. They do not care about the welfare of Australian Uber drivers. They do nothing for it. They're just making it worse and worse and worse. That's why I'll never drive Uber passenger. If they had better transparency, clearer things happening, more safety for the drivers, maybe I'd consider it. I'm not saying I'm signing up and doing it or anything like that, but for the drivers currently doing it, I can feel their pain. That is ridiculous what's going on to them. It's a fucking outrage that's allowed to occur in Australia. I don't know how Uber's getting away with this shit, but it needs to stop. Now guys, if you're driving for Uber or if you've been a passenger, you've had things cancelled, share your experiences down below in the comments. I want to hear them. Share it around. Other people want to read them as well, so share your stories. Because this is bullshit. This should not be allowed to happen in Australia, but it is. I don't know why legislators aren't stopping this. I don't know why the government is not stopping this. Any other industry, this is not allowed. But for some reason, in the transport industry, this is allowed to happen. It is ridiculous. Guys, share your stories. That's all for today. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.